Truck Talk Media.
C10 Talk, episode 265, Dojamat. Yep, Dojamat. Not Doja Cat, Dojamat. Yeah, those retro rad floor mats, you're going to find out all about them. Here we go.
An old retro floor mat. It's kind of like it ties it all together. It's really bizarre because you can open up the door, no Dojamat, and people are like, oh, this is awesome. And then you open up the door, pair of Dojamats inside the car. It gives the car more personality, adds so much of a conversation to it, and it's just fun to look at, and it just looks right, man. They just look so right in any truck that's built in the 60s, 70s, 80s.
Damn, son. Seeing is believing, and our title sponsor, United Pacific, makes seeing a whole lot easier. The crispness of the United Pacific LED headlights, taillights, marker lights, and more makes seeing and showing your truck that much better. It's time to upgrade your old dim halogens for new LED headlights, taillights, and more. They offer the brightest and latest LED technology. Headlights are available up to 1600 lumens, easy to install, and it fits right in the OEM housing. How about upgrading to sequential taillights? They're DOT approved and ready to ship today. And for you 73 to 80 GMC and Chevy Squarebody guys, they've got the new front parking lights, LED with stainless steel bezel. Think UP Car Parts. That's upcarparts.com.
Let me tell you what Melba Toast is packing right here. I've got 411 posi track out back, 750 double pumper, Edelbrock intakes, scored over 30, 11-to-1 pop-up pistons, turbojet, 390 horsepower. We're talking some fucking muscle.
What does that do? Did that blow your mind? That just happened.
Welcome to C10 Talk, your C10 Truck podcast.
And now I have a chance to be the best, maybe the best in the world.
My old man is a television repairman. Got the ultimate set of tools. I can fix it.
I said I got 50 cents in that jukebox, and all I can hear is your mouth flapping. You hear that?
Here's your host, Ronnie Welch.
What up, C10 Nation? Coming at you with the little Dojamat love. I recorded this, a few months back, and this went over to the Bronco Talk Pod. This is kind of how Blake and I met, through the Bronco Talk podcast. So you'll hear the full story, but I thought you guys would like the old Dojamat. If you've seen me kind of market it, and I had, at the beginning, my own mats. So Squarebody, C10 Nation, and then 1972. Now you'll kind of see what's happening. You'll hear the story, but I will tell you, we're pretty excited. We've actually expanded quite a bit. Coming out here in August, we should have everything in the warehouse, but we've got a lot more mats coming in, all 5 colorways. So you're going to have your red, your blue, your green, your tan, and your gray. And then another big expansion is going to be all the years from 64 to 92. So if we don't have the slogan that you want, we're probably going to have the year that you want, right? When you think about the gamut from 64 to 92. Another thing that's cool, we've got the Stars and Stripes. That's new. That's shipping out already. And the back seats. So for you Bourbons and Blazers and anything else, crew cabs, that you need that back seat. You need a mat down. We've got a corresponding matching colored mat that, works perfect for anything like that. Your Blazers, your Jimmys, your Suburbans, and your crew cabs. So pretty excited about that. A lot of new ones coming out. Stay tuned. We're constantly working on new product and getting these mats out to everybody. So hopefully you can find a mat that you like and that fits your style. If you've got an idea and you think you want to share it, then let me know. If it's something that we say, hey, we want this, that's a good idea, a slogan, something like that. Some new ones that we have Shitbox, which is funny. We have Rustbucket coming out. Of course, we're going to make a damn son. I'm looking forward to that. So, you can pitch us your slogan, and if we do it, I'll go out on a limb and say we'll give you a free set of mats. If you have a company, like you think about C10 Nation, you've got a company, you've got a brand, you've got a logo, and you want to make some mats, we do have a minimum number requirement, but we're down to do it. So Solomon just did it, the Ford era. I did it with C10 Nation. I love them. I love the look, and we'd be happy to do it for you. So hopefully you can find a mat that you like and gives you that retro styling. I like to say open the door and show them what's on the floor. Truck show's coming up here. So we've got August 5th, the Slow Down. I'll be headed up there. I'm looking forward to that. August 5th, San Luis Obispo. August 12th, you got C10s on the Capitol in Olympia, Washington, Pacific Northwest. September 1st and 2nd, C10 Intervention. That's always that Labor Day weekend. September 2nd as well, the Southern Illinois Truck Showdown. That's the one I was saying is called SITS. SITS, Southern Illinois Truck Showdown, September 2nd. The next weekend, September 8th and 9th, Triple Crown of Rodding, Nashville, Tennessee. Then September 16th and 17th, the Grand Nat Truck Show. So like Grand National Roadster Show in Pomona, they're doing their first truck show. That's September 16th and 17th. That same weekend in Waxahachie, Texas, C10's in the park. Always a great time over there. So that's that same weekend. You got a show in Texas, you got a show in Cali, First World Problems. And then September 29th and 30th in Tennessee, again, you've got the C10 Nationals. So quite a bit going on over there in Tennessee. Yeah, busy. So that takes us up to September for the show coverage. I think that's about it. I'm looking forward to getting out the slice, getting over to the Slowdown, and having a good time. It's been a little while since I had the slice out. I think I took it to Ruidoso. It's been that long. Obviously, the get down, and then the reunion. So never mind on that. Just feels like I haven't been out because it's so damn hot right now. So I am looking forward to that, getting over to Cali and getting some of that cool weather. All right, I hope you liked the Dojamat interview with Blake. Blake is one rad dude. I've got Engineered Vintage, Ben scheduled. Who else do I have? I've got 3 or 4 more scheduled, just trying to make them all fit and get them all scheduled in. And so maybe I'll have one right before I leave for the Slowdown. If not, I will have coverage while I'm over there at the Slowdown as well. All right, guys, have a great week. Thanks for tuning in. Questions, comments, concerns, you know how to get a hold of me, Ronnie at Truck Talk Media. Ronnie at Truck Talk Media. That's it. Enjoy the show. Open the door and show them what's on the floor. Here we go. Late. Dojamat. We got Blake Bronco sitting behind the mic. I guess kind of the other side of the mic. Actually, talking a little Dojamat. So, Blake, welcome back to Truck Talk Media coverage on Dojamat. So, good to see your pretty face.
Yeah, man. Good to be back on the show on the other side of the mic. Stoked to get to chatting.
Yeah. So, what the hell is a Dojamat, brother?
Man, you know, it's the new coolest floor mat company out, but it's a design we've all seen for decades. It's crazy. Like, obviously, being in the Bronco scene now for a few years, anytime we come across those really cool diamond themed, old school retro floor mats, they're in high demand and hard to find. So I was like, man, it'd be really cool to recreate these. So kind of just ran with that idea. Obviously had to really source some factories and get the quality down. So it took me a couple of years of trying to find the right factory. And that's just a whole nother story in itself, but really psyched, man. We launched the brand last July or August about, and it's taken off and it's been super fun, man. I think, we put a modern twist on the mats. The OG ones kind of had those carpet inserts to add to the rubber, and ours are just full rubber. So you can just spray them down, clean them, without the carpet getting dirty. I could go on, but dude, Dojamats, man, it's awesome. Bring those retros back, modern upgrade, new words, new slogans, new slang terms. And yeah, great reviews because like I said, we spent a lot of time on the quality. So it's cool to, get in the industry in a way other than just getting some cool builds going. It's fun to have our product be a part of people's builds now.
The funny thing about when you say that, it's like a comfort food, like it's going to grandma's, it's a little bit of chicken noodle soup. And when you grow up, for me, I grew up, 70s, 80s, and you're a little younger, but you still got to experience that. And it's just funny how something, not only a truck or a Bronco when you see a vehicle, a classic vehicle, you see that makes you feel one way. Well, then when you open the door and you look down and you see a Dojamat or even a classic OG original style mat, you're like, no way, right? So it was apparent and evident that those were going to become and or were already in demand, those OG ones. And you'd go to eBay and try to find them, and they were 125 and 225 and 325, and it just kind of kept going. So it just adds one more thing to a classic rig that gives you that feeling that you desire. At least I can speak for myself when I'm cruising, when I'm sitting in my rig. Hell, even if the rig is sitting and I'm not in it, and the door's open and I just look at it and I'm looking at the steering wheel, and you think like, oh, the old Grant steering wheel, or you think of a old Alpine deck. It's just one more thing to really bring that interior to a level that, again, is comfort food, and it's grandma's chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, exactly. I think all trucks have so much personality, and clearly there's certain levels to the stage of people's projects, and they put a lot of time and money into them, no matter what stage they're in, and they have their own meaning to those people. So when you open up an interior and might have original seats that everyone recognizes, or original stereo, or like you said, the original steering wheel, and it's kind of like an old retro floor mat. It's kind of like it ties it all together. It's really bizarre because you can open up the door, no Dojamat, and people are like, oh, this is awesome. And then you open up the door, and let's say someone's in the early phases of a project and it's kind of shitbox status, and there's a shitbox pair of Dojamats inside the car. It's just something that's hilarious. Gives the car more personality. And even I had like a pretty mint, fully restored Bronco we sold a couple months ago, and I put the shitbox mats in those, and it's hilarious. It's like adds so much of a conversation to it, and it's just fun to look at, and it just looks right, man. They just look so right in any truck that's built in 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, it literally adds character. And you're right. Your Bronco, second gen Bronco, I mean, you would have never expected. And that's why I thought it was genius that you open the door and you see Shitbox in something that is nothing close to a Shitbox. A very well done second gen Bronco. You open the door, and of course the colors match. That looks good. But to see Shitbox in there, and you're like, all right, dude, I see what you did here, and it just adds that little zing.
Oh, it's hilarious because now I'm seeing some clients that are buying shitbox mats, posting them on Instagram, and they clearly have mint rigs too. So it's just obviously hilarious because it's such a term that is funny, and it's used because it's true most of the time, but it's just hilarious that it can be part of the culture. That doesn't matter what your truck's doing, it can be a shitbox no matter what.
Yeah, and for you guys out there that are listening, that are tuning in, if maybe you just weren't fortunate enough to grow up in the 70s or 80s and you're a little bit younger, these mats were a big part of it. So you get to kind of re-experience that. And it's not just that it's comfort food. It's also that it can be something that you're like, hey, I know I need that because at one point, my Bronco, my truck, my K10, my C10, my Dodge, my first gen, it had that. And I want to provide that again in the format of a Dojamat.
Yeah, exactly. And I think no matter what, I guess, generation you come from, I think they're clearly cool enough that, even the younger guys instantly are like, oh, that's cool. And then obviously it's easy to see that there's a history of these mats kind of just being in the truck scene for so long. And part of the fun thing of creating Dojamat was, deciding on what names to launch with. And obviously the tricky thing on navigating it was that we couldn't use any, trademark terms that we're used to seeing those mats, which is like Ford and Bronco and Blazer and all that kind of stuff that, we couldn't do. So it was like, well, let's do dent side, let's do 4x4, let's do Shitbox, let's do trucking. Let's speak to the second gen Bronco guys. Let's do 1978, 1979. Let's do Highboy. Let's do Squarebody. Let's do a set of horn mats that don't even have a word, just plain horns. So, I think we have a great selection right out of the gate. Sales are going awesome. Reviews are great. And just the interaction with the clients, the people buying them, the customers, and reading the reviews and seeing them post, it's just making me stoked, because obviously when we created them, we wanted to make sure they're super high quality, something I'd be proud to put in my truck. So to see us kind of come out of the gate with the right amount of selections to kind of cover any truck, and obviously speak to what I love are obviously second gen Broncos. So we made sure we had 1978 and 1979 specific mats. Part of going forward as a brand is choosing which new words to do in the future,
Well, part of going forward with a brand, then I come into this thing, right? So for the audience, in the full disclosure, I meet Blake, Supercell, Colorado, Buena Vista 2020, and hit it off from there. I see the mats. I'm like, dude, I want to order some for myself, and I want to get involved however I can. So I've become more than just involved, just a partner, right? So Blake and I team up. We come up with all kinds of different ideas, and that is so much fun. It's fun to see your brain work, and then it's fun to see my brain work, and then it's like, you've used the word quite a bit, but it is very stokish, where it's like, hey, what about this idea? What about this color? And sometimes you're like, nah, maybe, or we can't do that one, but what about this one? And some of the different nicknames. So for the audience, the list is long, and I would say that it's a lot longer than you even think when it comes to potential mats that are out there, or I should say that are going to be out there. It's a process, and the process and the motor and the engine is working constantly. And we are going to try to continue to bring you the best quality mats, but all the cool nicknames and all the cool color combos that we can. Of course, we want to take care of the audience and everybody out there. And the thing I say is the trucks are cool, but the people are cooler. And we love that about that, because when you bring cool people and you bring metal and you bring something like this that's available to you at such a high quality, it's the icing on the cake.
Yeah, that's like you said, we met in 2020. We hit it off right away, and obviously you were like, hey man, want to help me host some of these Bronco podcasts? And obviously I was psyched. So as I got the brand going, when you said, hey, I'm super interested, obviously immediately I was like, well, dude, you should be a partner in this thing. So I'm grateful that you're on board. I have some past in, running a retail clothing brand in the snow industry. So it's been fun to put all that kind of knowledge base into something new. And, I love the Bronco scene, and there's still so much that's new to me. So to have your kind of knowledge base and your expertise and, all the people, and just help me navigate all of it. It's pretty awesome, man. So thanks, dude. It's pretty fun to put this thing together and see how it's going to go.
Well, and I appreciate that. It's cool too. Like for us, we go to Dino's Get Down, one of the biggest shows. I think it's got to be one of the biggest shows, definitely one of the biggest Chevy shows. When you think of some of the different shows in Ohio, and I know Minnesota has some huge shows, but let's just call it, they're reporting back anywhere from like 5,000 different trucks that all meet up for a few days in Glendale, Arizona. We bring the mats and launched the Squarebody mats last November, sell out of what we had in stock. But I just have to explain it to the audience. Phil Cato's Custom Upholstery, he's out of Utah. He's like, dude, I got to have these. And it's something when you are a manufacturer or retailer, however you want to look at it, there's a joy on both sides. So if you're the consumer and you see a Shitbox, you see a 79 that's going to match your Bronco, you see a 4x4 that's going to match your K10, you see a Squarebody that's going to match your truck. Well, there's a joy for Blake and I as well. There's a joy as a seller or somebody who came up with something, whether it's a shirt, whether it's a hat, or whether it's a Dojamat. I mean, it's one of those things where you're prideful in it, and there's joy in seeing somebody else buy your product, put it in their truck, and be stoked about it.
100%. And I think, you know, for people that know what it takes to like get a brand going, you know, that's also another level of appreciation that I've been psyched on, that a lot of people like, dude, you know how much it takes to get a brand going, like nicely done, like nice launch, good job on time deliveries, the quality's good. And that's just part of the fun of doing it, is like all the behind the scenes work. And so when you do, like you said, go to the show and you sit down with tons of enthusiasts, all your buddies, and you got this cool piece that now you're contributing more to that culture. And it's something that you're proud of. It just becomes another, like, you know, centerpiece you guys can all get stoked on. And that's a cool feeling. Because obviously to launch the brand, there's, you know, the product development, the supply chain you got to deal with, the customs and duties, and all the operational aspects and logistics, and all the customer service, and, you know, filing for kind of like copyright, intellectual property stuff, and the website, the sales, the social media, and on and on and on. It's just so many layers. So it's so fun to put the time in, get the business going, put all the right fundamentals in place to have a sound business, know that you can scale it, know that you can deliver on time to your customers. Because it's one thing to create a product that maybe is kind of cool, but if you're going to take forever to deliver, if you're going to have quality control issues, if you're going to, you know, not be punctual, if your business isn't super solid, if it's not protected, you know, it's like you're working so hard. You want to make sure your clients are stoked. You want to make sure your business is sound, and that you're set and ready to scale and to turn it up a notch. And I think maybe we should let everyone know, but we just landed a pretty killer distribution partner, didn't we?
Well, I mean, the segue is perfect, right? You've got one chance to make a first impression. Dojamat is doing that. And within that, a very key first impression was made. And that was with who?
Keith Dixon, product manager at LMC Truck.
Huge, baby, huge. So LMC Truck reaches out and says, hey, we love what you're doing and we want to be part of it.
Yeah, I get an email, Keith Dixon, hey, product manager, LMC Truck. So I start running around the house dancing, just getting this email.
Hopefully you had your underwear on.
Maybe not. I live in the mountains, so I'm good. And, you know, he's like, hey, I'm, you know, pretty active in the forums. And I've been kind of sitting back, seeing how the launch of your brand would go. He's like, you guys are getting great reviews. I would love to get a set of mats in person, touch and feel them, and, you know, at least open up some dialogue and see if maybe we can't become a partner in Dojamat and be a retailer. So obviously I was psyched, got him a pair of mats right away. He loved the quality. You know, the discussion's been going on for 3 months now. They got their order in. We knocked out obviously all the logistics and the order fulfillment. And, you know, there's obviously quite a few vendor guidelines and vendor compliance. And, you know, that was a fun project for you and I to bust out. We delivered on time. And as of this morning, we can officially say we are on LMC Truck in a major way.
Yeah, it's perfect timing. And people don't really understand. I mean, obviously business owners do, but the amount of work and a little bit staying up late, getting up early, making sure that numbers were right and stickers are right and labels are right and things like that. But it's one of those things where you kind of grow from it, you know, baptism by fire. You're in it. You gotta deliver, just like you said. So whether it's one customer who's living in Pittsburgh or whether it's a huge customer who's in Kansas, and that customer is LMC Truck. So big announcement. Probably, I mean, absolutely huge announcement for you and I to be able to say that, share that with the world. For the audience, you'll be able to go to LMC Truck and you'll be able to buy Dojamat there, pick your color, pick your mat, pick your slogan, and know that you've got LMC Truck behind you and behind us. So it means a lot to be involved with something like that, and to have a company that for years and years you look through their, as an enthusiast on my end, and I know on yours as well, you get the catalog, you go through it, and I save all catalogs. So I don't know what my oldest LMC catalog is, but I like to look at how prices adjust and things like that. So I've got some old ones, and it's cool. It's a cool feeling to know that we're in there.
Dude, it's insane. And I think people look at LMC Truck as, a trusted source to buy their parts, to, put together, it's pretty, putting together a truck and spend that much time and your free time, your free money, not free money, your hard-earned money into your builds, being a part of the build list, the kind of the build sheet now, and just knowing people can go to LMC and know that LMC trusts us. So they must have something really good going on here, because obviously I think it's a trusted name and they've been around forever. They wouldn't be if they didn't have great vendor partners. So, for me, it's just a nice affirmation. I think it's a little tip of the cap to us and what we've created. And that's really cool. Put that feather in the cap and keep going forward and keep having that passion to, launch this brand. And, it's crazy. It's been out now since July, because it feels like, in one way, a couple weeks ago, and in another way, it feels like we've had this thing going for a couple of years now.
Yeah, it's funny how that'll do that time, and just again the affirmation to know one of LMC's, their main kind of trademark is keeping generations on the road, and it's cool when you think about that, building memories from generation to generation. But you're not only keeping grandpa's truck alive, you're what you're doing is you're keeping that kind of that memory of grandpa alive as well. And so it's so fitting that these mats will be part of people's trucks in that build, keeping generations alive, because they're retro mats done right. And they add again to that build. When you're flipping through that LMC catalog and you're looking and you're like, oh, damn, I remember when Papa, when Tata, when Grandpa, when Granddad, Uncle Steve, whatever you want to call him or her even, and you get that hand-me-down, or you bring a vehicle back to life, you pull it, you resurrect it, you pull it out of the field. It's been sitting there for 8 years. It's been sitting there for 18 years. And you pick a Dojamat to be in there and that right slogan, to know that it's powerful. Hey guys, I've got Joe Road, Classic Performance Products, CPP back. Joe, let's talk X10 spindles. Go.
Yeah, CPP's one of our most popular parts through the years has been our 2.5-inch drop modular spindles. Really popular part. Well, we've kind of taken that to the next step. We've emulated late model Corvette, Silverado, Chevy technology into our new X10 drop spindles. They use a steel hub, sealed bearing hub, really strong piece.
As you know, Joe, so many guys are building bigger trucks, bigger wheels, bigger brakes, everything bigger and better. Is this X10 something they should be considering?
Oh, absolutely. It's oversized bearings. Definitely great for a guy using big brakes, big wheels, which I'm sure all your guys are.
All right, guys, there you go. If you're looking to upgrade, you need a new spindle anyways, you're going to lower your truck, you're running a bigger wheel, a bigger brake, CPP's got it for you with their new X10 spindle. Joe, as always, thank you. CPP, classicperform.com. It's classicperform.com.
Since the 1960s, US Mags has held the title for the longest-running custom wheel tradition. Experience the wheels that made history and set the trends for American truck culture for decades to come. From cast wheels to full custom 1- and 2-piece forged wheels, US Mags keeps you and your truck in mind with every new design and model. Our cast wheel series are designed specifically for Chevy trucks and are stocked and ready to ship, giving you the wheels you need when you need them with perfect fitment. Set your ride apart with our custom forged wheels, available in just about any finish and fitment desired. US Mags are guaranteed to distinguish your style and attitude from the rest.
Hey guys, I've got Andrew from Painless Wiring on. Andrew, what's the latest?
Just working on producing these GM truck harnesses. They're our best moving vehicle specific, and we're just, super excited to be able to service such a great community of truck guys.
Made in the USA. You guys are probably cranking them out nonstop. A ton of our audience is out there buying these trucks, building these trucks, and they know, hey, Painless Performance has got me taken care of.
Factory options, aftermarket stuff. If you have any questions, call our tech guys. They'll walk you through anything you need to know, and we'll make sure your truck gets wired up right the first time.
If you want to clean up your underdash, you want to clean up your chassis, it's that easy. Painlessperformance.com, painlessperformance.com. Thanks, Andrew. Or you bring a vehicle back to life. You pull it, you resurrect it, you pull it out of the field. It's been sitting there for 8 years. It's been sitting there for 18 years. And you pick a Dojamat to be in there and that right slogan, to know that it's powerful.
It really is. I'm just grateful that, it's just had the idea, and I didn't really think a factory was gonna be able to come through with the right kind of quality after the first attempts that I made. And even like minimum order per design was really tricky. So super happy with the partner on the supply chain side of things. Like they're so bomber. They're such quality mats. Like anyone that touches them, holds them, are like, holy crap, these are way nicer than, I guess I thought they'd be nice, but it's just, they're so awesome. So it's just great to know we have the high quality stuff out there, and that we wouldn't put anything out in the market that isn't other than that. And I think the fun road ahead is going to be deciding which new names to come up with,
Yeah, for sure. All the different, color formats and color codes and names. One thing to add when you talk about the quality, that I'll be honest, I don't know that I was very sure about it. And I'm 100%, if not more, if you can be, about the anti-slide back, one of those things. So for the audience, when you think about OG mats, you think about mats that were made in the 70s, made in the 80s. They were very smooth on the back, and it happens all the time. I could take you there right now. Close your eyes. You're getting in and out of your truck. You put your mat at a solid, 12 o'clock. The bottom's at 6 o'clock. And after you driving around for the day, you drive it around, that thing starts going from 12 to 12:15, from 12:15 to 12:30 to 12:45. Hell, it might even be past 1 o'clock by the time you've gotten in and out of that truck a few times. And another thing is that my carpet will wear where my throttle is, my foot pedal, because of that said clocked mat that moves. So with the Dojamat, you don't have that problem. You don't have that issue, because there's a anti-slide strips on the back that are strategically placed that keep your mat right where it needs to be, where you put it. Now, it doesn't stick so much that you can't move it. It sticks just enough that it doesn't slide to the old 1 o'clock, and then you're getting in and out. I've even had it where mats will slide so much that when you close the door, it catches the mat there a little bit. And, depending on the quality, or if you're like, that's a, $300, retro style mat or whatever, depending, that it, it can pinch it off. So you don't have that problem with the Dojamat.
Yeah. And I think, it's not an accident. Definitely has an important aspect of putting these together right. Because when I got my hands on some of the OG real deal, authentic, old school mats, that it was just, you're so psyched to get the mats. It looks so good in the rig. And when I got the OG ones and used them, it became like frustration / stoke, because I love the mats. They look great, but then they're sliding around everywhere. So when we were making the new ones, I was like, okay, these need to have just the right amount of adhesive on the bottom, so they don't slide all over your truck, because it got pretty annoying. But yeah, they're just right, and exact dimensions, and yeah, dude, it's been super fun to get this thing going.
So one of the biggest questions that I get now, I made the C10 Nation ones. I get a lot of people saying, hey, How can I get, maybe a one-off or so on and so forth? Well, you want to walk us through that a little bit, because for the audience, you just got to realize a one-off is it's not impossible, but it's damn near impossible. So, walk us through some of that, some of the personalized things that, the questions that come through.
Yeah, well, I think we get them every day. We can make custom mats for people's trucks. What's the name of your truck, or some names that maybe we haven't been able to get to yet. And the answer is yes, we can, but the amount of time it takes to communicate with the factory, and the biggest thing is you have to create a new mold. So, it's a pretty high cost. It's pricey. We can do it, but it's pricey. And one way that we've kind of worked around is, just learn what name you want. And if it's a name like, Brick Nose, we're going to do that in the future. So just sit tight. And if it's a name that obviously we're never going to do, then, it's going to be, just depends on the time of year, how busy the factory is, but it's going to be pretty, pricey to create a custom set, like $800-900, if not more. So, one way that we've been able to move forward with LMC as our exclusive retailer, we can still put together like 50 sets for, any restoration house that wants to go big. They want to make 50 sets, and they're going to put the name of their restoration group on the mats. We're happy to do that, and it keeps the cost down. So, that's kind of the way that we can do custom stuff. And obviously, if you have a truck that means a lot to you and you want to pay that for the one-off, we could certainly do it.
Yeah, I mean, really easily, you can look at it this way. Hey, 50, we got you. You start working your way down to 5, then one thing's going to go down, the number of mats, and one thing's going to go up, right? The amount of money that it's going to cost. If you want it, it can be done. And I don't think I'm letting the cat out of the bag on this. And I think Blake would be very transparent as information comes in as well. But if your truck is old red, or I should say big red and old blue, something like that, I mean, sure, we've written those things down, and there's talks of trying to generate a mat like that. Because we know there's a lot of big reds and old blues and things like that when you think about classic rigs. But of course, we want to sell mats. We want to make them. We want to make customers happy. But we just got to we got to hear from you guys. And if you want to find 40 people that have a truck named Old Blue, and you want 2 sets for yourself, one for now, one for later, then let's make it happen. I actually even have some OG mats that I will probably frame. Some, I mean, they're really like a hickey mat, and they're mint. And so for you guys out there, you want to buy a couple sets, you want to have a set that you just want to put on the wall or hang in your garage or something like that. I mean, I think that's pretty bitching. So, they're your mats. Once you buy them, you can do whatever you want with them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, obviously at the stage right now where we have most colors for all the mats that we have, and we have a big order coming from the factory right now to complete the color sets for all the current styles we have on the website. But obviously the next step is, what are the new words? And obviously we've been talking about doing Rustbucket, or slick, or first gen, second gen, or bush basher, 7.3 liter USA, step side, long bed, short bed, arrow nose, brick nose, all that stuff. So I mean, there's like 100 words that we're fired up to produce, and even like every year. Right now we have 1972, 1978, 1979, and obviously we want to make sure everybody's years of truck are covered from basically 66 to 96. So to do that in every colorway, it's obviously quite the quantity of products that we're going to have to create, but that's the truck scene, and that's what we got to cover. So it's a fun problem to have, is trying to accommodate everyone's year of truck, the color of their truck, and the right appropriate nickname for all the styles of trucks and bodies out there. So It's like TBD. We're working on it because we get texts and emails and direct messages daily on what new stuff we're doing or what new colors we're coming out with. So keep them coming because we're definitely listening and we're gonna make them. Don't worry.
Yeah, and you brought up colorway. There's pretty much 5 standard colorways, and if you know your trucks and you know your styles and you look back over history, you can say, well, what color would go good with this color, and so on and so forth. So when you think about it, you got your old RGB working for you. You've got your red, your green, your blue, and then a gray and a tan. That's primarily the 5 colorways that really should work for most vehicles, and that's kind of the approach that's been taken. And I think it might not be outside of the park home run, but it's definitely an inside the park home run when you think about those 5 colorways. When you're looking for classic Chevy or GMC truck parts, brotherstrucks.com is your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration parts. So whether you are restoring an original or looking to customize that classic truck, brotherstrucks.com has thousands of the highest quality truck parts for you to choose from. So head over to brotherstrucks.com and order your free catalog today. And don't forget to follow Brothers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates and special offers too. Hey guys, are you thinking about swapping out your old motor for a more reliable LSLT-based power plant? Behind each PSI harness, you get over 10 years of experience in the business, online tech support, phone support, and harnesses made in the U.S. That's psiconversion.com. You've heard me talk about my gauges. Dakota Digital has the best gauges for our trucks. Whether you want a direct fit into the stock bezel or something custom. These kits are complete with sensors for any engine. The new RTX series is really incredible. I think it stands for retro, but it should stand for rad. They look just like the stock clusters, but have all the technology you'd expect from Dakota Digital. You can change the lighting colors, customize the reading in the message centers, and do it all from the mobile app. That's right, the HDX and RTX series have Bluetooth technology. Damn, son, it's like a modern truck, but even better in a classic. Dakota Digital is absolutely the best in aftermarket gauges, so check them out at dakotadigital.com. dakotadigital.com. A lot of options, a lot of great ideas. Dojamat has a really cool wholesale program, right? If you think about it, if you've got an idea, call us up, just like I did with the C10 Nation ones, and we'll work with you. There's wholesale pricing, and you can have the idea, bring it to us, and we'll let you know at what capacity you need to have this many, and this is what the cost is going to be. So there's so much time that goes in behind the scenes, and we can help you out, especially if you've got like a personal logo, a shop, an idea. Bring it forward, and we'll work with you.
Yeah, and I think and other than that, just go to either our website, dojamat.com, or LMC Truck, just to buy straight up Dojamat, since we're obviously going to be selling from our website, and the only other place you can find us is LMC Truck, which is awesome. And then obviously, if you're a restoration group and you love the aesthetic and you want to make some, hit us up, because we can definitely make some, kind of short batch, short quantity, boutique kind of, just for your shop, low quantity, just for you.
Yeah, super cool. And they can retail them, they can give them to their customers, however they want to do it. Just looking at my list here, what's a mat that you put at the top? Like, hey, we haven't done it yet, but I'm looking forward to this name or maybe this style for you. What's one? I mean, there's a huge list. I've got it. We've shared our lists together so many times. But give me a future mat that you are like, I cannot wait to bring this one to market.
Well, I think that I'm just going to go off of the most requests that we've had. We've had a lot of requests for different words, but we've heard from the brick nose guys, the arrow nose. But I think the community I've heard from the most is, let's make an OBS mat. So I think OBS, I'm really psyched to get that out there.
Cool. Yeah. Obviously I've got some OBS love, and Yeah, I think that'll be cool. I'm looking at my list here too, and obviously I'm partial to the word damn son, so I might have to bite the bullet and just come up with a really cool font and throw that up. I think that and Rustbucket are fun just because when you think about like Shitbox, there's a lot of cool names out there that people have given their trucks, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good ride. The key is for you guys to touch it, smell it, taste it, feel it, see it. And that's going to happen at the shows when either Blake and I can get out. You are going to head out to Supercell, which is a huge Bronco. I mean, you're going to the biggest one there is probably. I mean, when it comes to Supercells, I know there's some different things, Carlisle all the way out in PA, but Tennessee, you're headed out there and you'll be there in a couple weeks and you'll be set up. So you guys can roll by the Dojamat booth. There's going to be some stickers there. There's going to be some mats there. Blake's going to be there. There's going to be some handout cards there. And if you've thought about it, you've wondered about it, there's without a doubt no better time to see it, touch it, smell it, feel it than at the shows.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out there. I'm actually gonna, load the truck up here in Colorado and drive the 20 plus hours out to Tennessee and hang with the boys. But you're right. I can't wait to get there and, see everyone's builds and let everyone come see and touch and see the Dojamats up close and just, let people. Well, and for me too, it's like learning more again about what colors are out there and making sure that what we have is what people need for those kind of 5 pillars of colors that should cover most trucks. So no better way than to go to a show with a couple thousand trucks and see what's out there and shake some hands.
Yeah, get out there. For us, and obviously for my audience, is the new green Squarebody. So the blue, the tan, the red, they were already, gray, they were already picked out, and now the green's coming out. So there will be a green Squarebody as well. So stuff is constantly coming to market as soon as we can really get it all together and get those 5 colorways. So pretty stoked about that one.
Yeah, well, speaking of green and Supercell East, I can't wait to get out to Tennessee and hang with Cliff Brumfeld because he was one of the first customers. Got himself, a pair of 1979 mats for his low mileage second gen, probably one of the nicest second gens on the planet. So I can't wait to see his truck there representing with the pair of mats already in it. And he's like the head of the snake out there, 50 plus second gen dudes out in Tennessee. So I think obviously for him to show that he's way into the mats is huge for us. And obviously he co-hosts the show and everything. So can't wait to hang with Cliff and check out his mats and his insane Bronco.
Yeah, shout out to the second gen kin, the head of the snake himself, Cliff. So a little kudos to him and getting behind it. And like you said, I mean, it's just one of those things, the nostalgia, retro mats done right, 100% premium grade rubber, non-slip grip pads. But wait, there's more. So where can everybody find, obviously besides lmctruck.com, where else can they find Dojamat?
Dojamat.com all day, and find us on IG, Dojamats.
Got that S on there, Dojamats on IG all day, DOJAMAT.com. It's that easy, Dojamat.com. Stoked to be in this with you there, dude. It's a good time. So thanks for sitting down and from the horns to trucking to square bodies to your year. We've got the 72, 78, and the 79. We're working on all the years. Keep your floor clean and your Dojamats looking pimp, and we'll take it from there, brother.
My man, I dig it. Thanks for the chat.
All right, we're out. Later, guys.
Bye.
Dojamat. Well, there you go. Now you know the story, and I'm telling you, these things are badass. If you've ever tried to get authentic mats, I've got a few sets. They're not easy to get. They are hard to get. They're expensive. So this is the way to go. And they really class up your truck. I know, like, for example, Yellowstone, I had the carpet company that does your, carpet kits. You can add floor mats and they look good, but I just feel like these mats, these designs, they give it that nostalgia, they give it that character. So that's what I'm stoked about. The other thing is the Velcro on the back. At first I wasn't sure about it, and it's perfect because they don't slide around. Now I have an original classic pair in orange slice that I've always kind of left in there, and they slide all around. It's funny that just a few pieces of Velcro will really keep those mats where they need to be and not move around. So love the style, love the quality. They just look so good in the trucks. If you check out Dojamats, Dojamats on IG, you'll see it, man. There's tons on there as people get them. They get them in their trucks. They get them in their Burbs, their Blazers, their Jimmies, their Broncos, whatever they're putting them in. They really class it up. So take a look, give us a follow, Dojamats on IG, and then you can get online. Check them out, dojamat.com, Dojamat. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you like the show. Have a great week. Late.